Yeah, it's a nice looking radio.
Yeah, it's a nice looking radio.
Right, hi everybody. It's Chris 2E0UKH. Can I have a radio report? Audio okay? 5.9 10.1. Not sure about the lag as well. We had problems with the lag the other night. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, give me an audio check, someone. Let me know you can hear me okay. Video okay. 5.9. Yeah, sounds good. Right, this is one of my other methods of streaming. This is just on my iPhone. This is the recording studio you've got in your pocket, you know, whether it's Android or iPhone. It's flipping brilliant. So just checking you can hear me okay, sitting back here. Good, thanks, Frankie. And just wondering what the lag's like tonight. So if I said just put your first name in the comments, I'll look and see what the lag's like. Just put your first name in and I'll just so I've got some idea what the lag's like. Billy, no lag. Okay, well, we had problems the other night, so I'll answer all these questions. Thanks, Frankie. We have got a little bit of lag, I think. That's good, sounds great, because I'm sitting back, I'm relaxed, sitting back from the camera a little bit. So this is the AnyTone 578, you know, probably fed up of hearing about it. Billy, he's watching me in the car. Are you skiving again, Billy, at work? Anyway, so I've got a dummy load instead of an aerial. I've got a 50 ohm dummy load, and that's rated at 2 watts. And the radio kicks out 1 watt on the lowest power. Now, in the UK, we've got a problem because M6s, well, foundation and intermediate level can only use crossband repeat on 0.5 watt. Yeah, hi Lee, thanks for calling in there. Many thanks for calling in. Anyone else who's just tuned in, put your name and call sign in the comments, and then we'll know who's talking. And it shows me some support, and I don't sit here talking to myself. It's great if I see comments. So yeah, in the UK, foundation and intermediate can only use 0.5 watt, and this radio puts out 1 watt minimum. We've asked AnyTone if they can reduce this, and they simply can't. So we did try and get this down. Now in America it doesn't really matter. I don't think they care what power you're running. You can do what you want by the sounds of it. Not that I know everything about the licensing, but from what I hear, it's a lot more relaxed, isn't it, the power? So over here in the UK, it's only any good, any use really, if you're a full license holder or if you're into Raynet. And yeah, we're talking about crossband repeat. So Billy said, what is the advantages of having crossband repeat? Just say hi to Ray Fraser and Jonas Norman in Sweden. Thank you for calling in, Jonas. Anyone else, put your name and call sign in the comments so I can say hello, give you a shout out. Crossband repeat, right. I'm going to go into it on the bottom line. I don't know if you can read that. Can you read that? As a simplex channel, that's 145,300. It's a simplex frequency. So I'm going to go into it on the bottom line, and I'm going to come out on the top line, which is USA. I'm not going to go on USA nationwide, don't worry. But the advantage of it is, in America, whatever country in, you've got to check the regulation. You've got to check your country's regulations first before you try and do this. I've just got epoxy dummy load. And J's there, M0JAJ. You've got to check the licensing conditions in your country. So if you own a 5-mile plot of land, and your house is in the middle, and you've got a radio like this with crossband repeat, you can set this up on an outdoor aerial, maybe. I don't know about the licensing. And you could walk around your 5-mile property with an FM radio, and you could speak to everyone on DMR. So you can do all that. There's also other conditions to do with whether it's attended or unattended. Obviously, I'm in my house and I've got no RF. I'm going through a dummy load, but I can only do it unattended. I think full license holders can be. So I can only do it attended. Full license holders can be unattended, depending on the band, I think. Not seeing any movement in the chat, just checking I'm live, and then I'm going to do a demo and show you how I've set it up for crossband repeater mode. So let's see some activity in the chat, please, so I know it's still working. I'm live, that's good. It's nice to see comments, it gives me some support, and I know people are enjoying it. Still good. Right, so thanks guys. Billy's still there. I don't know if he's skiving at work this time. I know he's in the car. So I've got the radio on here. It's on USA nationwide. It's on USA nationwide, and obviously I don't want to cut any of that out or rebroadcast stuff. So I'm just going to take it somewhere else, not quite as busy. Now, I have set up these 3 buttons on the right, P4, 5 and 6. I've set them up in the menu, in the key press menu. I've set them up in the following manner. I normally have my radio set up on single line mode. I just don't want to know what's going on 2 channels at once. Does anyone agree with me? I mean, if you have 1 channel for work, and I can understand that, or you can't miss a single minute on a repeater or something. But in my case, I just use 1 line at a time, and I'm configured P4 to be sub-channel off. So I can just have 1 channel on there. So sub-channel is on, and now in the top you can see USA nationwide, and in the bottom you can see just an FM simplex frequency. So I've set that for sub-band on and off. That's because I don't use 2 lines. Turn the date and time. Yeah, set it. Yeah, that's what you mean. I'm not doing it now, but you're right, I will do. I'll do it with my GPS antennas in. Right, I've set up the P5 button to switch between which is your main line. So top or bottom. So I've got it on USA nationwide. I'm just going to take it away from there. We're getting less busy, so I'll take it to 235 2352. I've also set up unlink, a 4000 group call command on the P2. So if I press that, that's linked to a hotkey which I've set up in the software. 4000. Press transmit, and we'll get the lady come back, hopefully. She's not much of a lady, but she's so flipping loud. Right, so I'll just do that again.
Not linked.
So she's a bit loud, but we know we're unlinked there. And the bottom, this is the final setting. The bottom right, P6, that's not a very good angle. I've set that as repeater on and off. Repeater on selected. And then you get in, I've got it in red, repeater mode. It's the only thing that's red. Can you see it? It says repeater mode. So I'll just turn that off and I'll show you the other way you can activate that. So repeater mode is off, and you can get to that by going to menu, settings, and now I can click the knob, radio set, and then go to repeater, and you can turn it on or off. So I've got it on that preset on P6, can't see, my hands are in the way. Right, I'm going to put repeater mode on by pressing P6. Repeater mode is on. Now I've got an FM handheld nearby. I've got an FM handheld. It's actually an FT70, but you can see I'm on 145,300. Can you read the frequency on that? Can you see that, guys, on the screen? And don't believe what this battery indicator tells you. You've only got to key up twice and the FT70 says it's flat. But you've got plenty more juice in it. If this doesn't, I can go over to other radios. Can you use the mic still in repeater mode? No, you can't. That's a good question. So I'm going to press the microphone button and I'll move this flipping thing out of the way, and you should see it's not transmitting. In fact, when it's in repeater mode, you can't even change channel. So I'm going to key up on the mic and it doesn't transmit. That's good, because nothing is going to disturb repeater mode. So anyway, anyone new watching the live stream, put your name and call sign in the comments so I can see who's watching and we can discuss other stuff after this. Right, so I'm going to do my demo now. Now I can go into the repeater crossband repeater mode on FM. I'm going to key up on this radio off screen and you'll see it's receiving a signal and there's no one there. Now I'm going to take a live call. I'm going to take a live call from someone. Let me just check I actually am on 2352, because I did the unlink, so I'm going to turn my repeater mode off. And I'm just going to make sure I'm connected to 2352. Group call 2352. So if anyone would like to call in, on 2352, talk group 2352, we're on Brandmeister. So I'm waiting for my first call. Actually, I don't need the volume up on the 578. I need the volume up on the receiving radio, which is the Yaesu. So right, someone key up and give me a call and you'll see a live shout out on the stream. Someone call me on 2352 give me a call. So someone watching the stream, repeater back on, yeah, that's a good point. Good old Norman Williams, he's always bloody right. Right, but repeater mode is now on. Right, so there's my first call. Just going to turn the volume up. So I'm going to pick up this radio off camera. Both the volumes are down on the 578. Yeah, station that just called me. Was it Shannon? I'm not sure. It sounded like Shannon. I saw Shannon key up a few minutes ago. Go ahead. It's Chris, 2E0 UKH. I'm on an FM radio going into DMR on the 578 crossband repeater mode.
E0 UKH, E5CDK. No, this is Doug in Texas, and just got your video going here a couple of minutes ago. Just got home, and I can tell you're cross mode, and it doesn't sound like true DMR, but it doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate that. You know, I don't want it to sound perfect. I want it to, you know, it's nice to use FM, and there's a little bit of noise. It's not quite perfect, you know. It's almost like you're DXing. But I'm glad you saw my quick notification. So I'll just tell the guys watching the stream, when you're using crossband repeat on the radio, the light goes orange, and it also says repeater mode. So just checking all the people watching on the stream. Got over 30 people watching on the stream are hearing the audio from Doug on the FM radio. Just put it in the comments. Are you receiving the audio? You know, it's readable. All clear? Good.
Awesome idea. You know, crossband repeat or whatever is kind of cool, but the fact you're cross moding, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a fantastic system. I mean, you can get crossband repeat. I've got an Retovis sent me an RT23, and it's a £40 radio, and it does crossband repeat. You don't have to spend £300 or £400. There's a lot of handhelds that do crossband repeat, and if you're in the UK and you can only do half a watt, you know, you might have more chance of using it if you can do it on low power like that. But no, it's an awesome idea, and thank you for calling in, and thank you for being a fan of the channel and your support, Doug. I'm sure there's other people listening that would like to call in, so I'll say 73 Doug, and we'll do more live streams now we've got this crazy setup going. Lone Kazoo, fine here.
Good deal, and yeah, I really enjoyed what you've done lately with your videos, and we'll give somebody else a chance. I'll be standing by and watching video.
Yeah, okay, my friend, I appreciate that. Right, many thanks. Anyone else watching, give me a call. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people listening, because I mean, I've not actually heard what it sounds like on the DMR end. So anyway, next person, if anyone else is listening on DMR 2352, go ahead, give me a call, 2E0 UKH in the UK. Yeah, that's okay. There was only one person listening, but I'm joking. But I'm sure there is a few more. But I don't know if there's a way on DMR to actually see who is actually on the room or the talk group. But anyway, anyone else want to call in and press to talk? Too noisy. Yeah, the fan's a bit noisy. It's only on 1 watt. I agree. Right, anyone else want to call 2E0UKH listening? Anyway, I'll give someone else a chance to call. M7AHE, I can't, or I would. So I'll give it another minute for someone else to call, then I'll go and make another demo somewhere else on a talk group. Go and wind them up on 3100. Okay, so I'm just giving someone else a chance to call. I mean, there's not much more to say about this crossband repeat. You know, I've got Norman Williams in the comments. I'm going to do another demo of crossband repeat. I'm not transmitting here. Sorry, just reading Frankie's comments. No, but you can't get it in manually. But if you go into the CPS, Frankie, you can copy and copy the channel, a channel that you've got, and just link it to a new talk group. So anyway, no one else is going to call me from the stream. I thought someone else might want to give it a try. I'm going to go over to another talk group. Terry Cook just ran across your live stream. Yeah, thanks, Terry. I'm not sure, Terry, if you're in. By the way, we've got a Facebook group, Digital Analog Ham, where you'll get. I always put notifications in there first for live streams. So anyone wanting to, you know, interested in this sort of stuff and experimentation, I put the streams in there. If you have it on antenna, all within range would pick up on FM and talk back via FM and the other way around. What kind of radio is that? Well, the one in the picture, I mean, I've been speaking to Roberto, sorry. That is an AnyTone 578. Just turning my heater off. Yeah, that is an AnyTone 578. And it's been out about a week. So what we're doing, Roberto, we are demonstrating crossband repeat, and I have been going in. This is a DMR. This is a 50 watt DMR mobile radio. I've got it on a dummy load, and it's all on low power. And I'm going in on an FM radio, and I can speak to people on DMR on an FM radio. Okay, Roberto. So I'm not quite sure. Perhaps Norman could put in the comments what the combinations you can do are. So far, I've just read in Resat's comments. You know, what combinations are possible? You know, I've gone in on FM and I'm coming out on a DMR, which is my hotspot, by the way. The top channel could be a local repeater. The top channel could be, I could go in on one FM frequency and go out on another. I could set the top one to my local repeater on FM. So, right, Zachary, How much did you say you'd paid for that radio? 40? No, not 40. Different radio. Yeah, this one, this is new out. This is a 50 watt DMR analog FM radio. It's about £350 in the UK, and this is the FT70. Right, enough waffling. I'm just going to do another demo because I thought a few people from the group might like to have a go and see what they sound like, you know, on the live stream. Now, for me to change talk group, I've got to turn repeater mode off, and I've set it for the P6 button. So repeater mode is off, and I can now change channel, and I could press the transmit. With the repeater mode on, you can't do this. Jay Stedman, have you been able to wideband the transmitter yet? Yes, I have, but AnyTone are trying to comply. You know, we don't want the AnyTone to be... We don't want a Baofeng situation where the radio becomes illegal to use. So, you know, AnyTone are going to be changing the firmware, changing passwords. And if you want to transmit out of band, you know, you're going to be a few steps behind. It's a bit like jailbreaking the iPhone. Right, I'm just going to change to another talk group. I'll go and wind them up on to 3100. Make sure I'm connected. So I'm on 3100, and Dale's talking there. I'm going to turn on repeater mode. I can't do it while he's transmitting. Yeah, well, if it's for Raynet, J, 451 frequency for my Raynet use, you know, if you get in touch with the dealer you got it from, I'm sure, I mean, I could do it for you, but I'm not going to start doing that. If you contact the dealer you got it from, then and showed in the Raynet ID and everything, you know, I'm sure they would unlock it for you. Robert Taylor, thanks for all you do, Chris. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I think 3100 is a bit busy here. It's very nice to see a few names I recognise from the Facebook groups and the YouTube channels and stuff in the comments. Anyone new watching the stream, put your comments in there. And I'm just going to unlink from this one actually because it's a bit, I can't get in. I've got P2 set as 4000 group call, and when Dale has finished transmitting here, I'm going to unlink. Now, no, it hasn't locked up. Dale's talking, look. He's
Snorting around, you know, you hear them. They're in the grass and you can hear them rooting around. And I didn't want to get involved with them, over.
P2, transmit. No, I missed it.
Those boars, I'll tell you what, they can mess you up. They can hurt you really bad. Okay.
Now, I've actually found 4 different ways to unlink. I'm going to be doing another video on this. 4 different ways to unlink. But for quickness, I'm just going to do it.
Right. And then you look over your left shoulder and there's the cougar saying, yeah, look at the size of your foot.
P2. Right, I didn't catch it in time. Now, this isn't a problem. There's loads of ways of unlinking that people don't realise. I'm just going to demonstrate one. I'm going to try one. Demonstrations normally go wrong. I'm going to go to my dashboard, and the talk group you are on is normally linked to the master server you're on. So if I go to a different master server, I'm just on my PC now. It's not very good, not very interested in looking at the radio because I'm just doing it on a phone. But I'm going to change my master server to one I've never used before. So let's go to Belgium. So my hotspot is just doing its changes, and then I'm going to go over to a different talk, because I will have a different talk group set on that DMR master server. Right, so the change has happened, and I'm trying to get my live stream comments up again. So just stand by, because I'm using my PC to see all the comments. Right, we're back now. Just checking. This is why Norman is saying this is why on DMR you must leave a 30-second gap. Yeah, very true. Look, I've changed the master server and I'm no longer on USA Nationwide, or these guys will be keying up. So I'm going to take it somewhere else, a little bit less busy. And I'm going to be... Hi there, Fred. I'm going to be doing another video on this, 4 ways to unlink on DMR.
If they get it, sooner or later we get it. As the prevailing soldier fronts going off the Atlantic.
Right, Tony, he's a friend of mine. He'll love to join in.
Anyways, are you about where you need to be? Everything booked to his Ricky's, is he?
2E0 UKH, just interrupting.
Like I said, I knew back east from my relatives.
Right, let me put repeater mode on. You've got to, you know, this is different. This is not what we're used to. Takes a bit of getting used to. When Don Lakoff, when he's finished transmitting, I'll just press the repeater button.
Apparently in the last few days, or even more than that, it seems like the upper bands are perking a little, so it's been quite interesting.
No, I'm just using a jumbo spot. It's a DV Mega, actually, Pi Star.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something real exciting, but that's it, my friend. Back over to you.
Right, repeater mode on. 2E0 UKH, listening.
Well, like I say, there's nothing much exciting happening here. I figured you must be like on the driveway because you went into chicken cooking mode there for a second. I can usually tell when you're pulling up, because you just sort of get that little bit of dropout. And regards to James, if you hear from him,
Have you noticed it doesn't show the call sign now on the screen? And the... But it shows the call sign, but it doesn't show all the details.
Right here, right now. Everything both to you, kids, is me.
2E0 UKH, just interrupt him for a minute, please.
Pause for a second, I'm in the mobile. Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. KB9 bug.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I appreciate that for letting me in. I'm just doing a live stream on YouTube, and I'll just go back to Tony. Tony, I am actually speaking on a FM radio on crossband repeater mode on the 578. Back to you.
Seriously. Interesting stuff there, Chris. Yeah, I'm detecting a little bit of latency. I'm not looking at any dashboards or anything, but from what I'm hearing, you're reasonably readable, but like I said, there's a bit of latency sort of going off there. Don, are you detecting any latency from Chris? KB9 Bug 20KZV in the group.
He gave it to us or not, that's what I was wondering. He kind of telling us about the FM thing and doing some sort of crossband. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, and I'm sorry to interrupt your conversation. And, you know, you've got thousands of people watching this conversation, just so you know. Well, there's about 30, I'm joking. But, yeah, I'm on an FM radio with a very low battery, by the way. And I'm going in on an FT70, a Yaesu, which is set on FM mode. And it's on lowish power. And it's going into the AnyTone 578, which is also on the lowest power, which is 1 watt. And I've got a dummy load on the AnyTone 578 to comply with the power. Because in the UK you can't do half a watt if you're 2E0 or M6. Anyway, that was a nice long over to you there, KB9BUG. What was the audio like? Is it acceptable?
Michael Spirit is calling on call group 2350.
That fan is coming from the 578.
Done. Chris turned it to you.
Anyway, I just wanted to do a demo. You know, I don't want to take over the talk group. You were having a nice chat there. I'll say 7.3. I'm going to take everyone over back to 2353. No, 2352 we were on. So we're going to QSY off. Sorry for interrupting, but I thought, you know, I know you're super interested in the radio. That's right, that was Frankie just called in. We're going to QSY 2352. Carry on, guys.
No problem at all there, Chris. Only too happy to assist you at any point in time. You've got the number, so just drop us a text or whatever if you need to, and I'll give you a bit further help somewhere further down the line. I think that was your friend M6 VMO called in. Anyways, all the best to you, and many happy sort of
I'm going to turn repeater mode off. Right, repeater mode is off. And the conversation is still going on, but I can't hear it on the FM radio. Anyone new watching to the stream, we're demonstrating the AnyTone 578. We have got a Facebook group, Digital Analog Ham, for people that are, you know, interested in digital and analog. For stuff you can do when you're in a block of flats, you know, you might be able to do a little bit of analog, but you've always got the digital to fall back on. So I'm just going to unlink when I can. The green light means I just press P2 quickly and transmit. And we should get that loudmouth come back. That lady. I don't know about you guys, but that's the only lady I ever hear on this DMR. That lady there. Roger Schlutz. Hello, Chris. Yeah, how you doing there, Roger? Yeah, it is a plug. It is a plug. And I like to have as little possible, as little amount of people on there as possible. People that are interested, not friends or people that are being nosy. Come on, Norman. Put it in, Norman. Put in the comments your Facebook groups to do with the AnyTone, and also tell us about your. Norman has got a fantastic. He's very good. He's created a website all about the AnyTone radios. Feel free, Norman, to put your web page all about the AnyTone radios in the comments, and also your Facebook groups. Excuse me. Yeah, it is a dummy load because in the UK I can only do half a watt, and the lowest power this radio does, unfortunately, is 1 watt. So anyway, Norman's not going to say it. He runs the Facebook group, the UK AnyTone 868 878 578 group, the UK one. And if you go on there, you'll find links to his actual website, which is full of brilliant information. Anyway, I'm going to QSY this radio off somewhere else. I think I did actually. I'm on the UK call-in, but I did an unlink. That's right. Now, you can put any other questions about this radio in the comments, and I just wanted to show you guys. I'm trying to get the microphone on the camera. Right, so I'm unlinked. So if I wanted to go to a talk group, I'm trying to get the screen in as well. If I want to go to a talk group that I'm not connected to at the moment, this works on the 868, the 878, the 878 Plus, the 578. It is a handful, but it all lights up, I mean, would you rather it was really small when you can't press the buttons, like on these awful Kenwood handhelds, from 5-10 years ago? You can't press the buttons on them. This all lights up, you've got a dedicated sub-band button on the side. You can go into the menu from the A button. You've got A, B, C, D at the bottom. Each can be programmed to a short and a long press. That takes up, that brings the shortcuts you've got, short and long press, to 20. You've got 6 on the radio, 4 on the microphone. Each can be short and long press. Simon Templar, nice to see you on there, Simon, on the live stream. Not sure what time it is in Australia, but thanks for watching. So just like on the 868, 878, you can long press the 0 button. Look at the radio. Get the flipping big microphone out of the way. Private call. And if I press the bottom right, the hash button, it changes it to talk group ID. And if I type in a talk group I want to go to, let's go to, I'll have a listen on 91, see what's going on there. 91, I've typed it in. I'm going to press transmit. And even if you didn't have this programmed in the radio, this will take us to talk group 91 worldwide. This is flipping brilliant. This is why we liked the MD380, the RT3. It's got the hacked firmware. You can go to a talk group via the ad hoc method. Right, Norman Williams is saying, if A is set to menu and D to exit, you cannot have long press A and D. That's interesting. Me and Norman have been playing with these. We've been playing with these radios for over a month, and I think it would be very handy if you press menu. Sorry. If you press, there's a click on this top right button.
Yeah, it's which call sign next to Echo Zero and the Echo Whiskey. You just come up as an IP number.
I thought it would be very handy if you could click this and it will go straight to menu. Is that possible? Good evening there, Roger Slutz. Norman, is that possible? I looked in the CPS. You click the channel knob, you know, the clicker. Is it possible to go straight to menu? I looked in the programmable features. No, it's not. That is something we need to get fixed. That, for, you know, because you've got to press menu and then you've got to come over here. That'll be so easy. In the list of things that you can add the programmable buttons to do, why not have menu? Yeah, well, Norman wants that for Squelch. I want that for menu. I mean, if you've lost the use of one hand, you know, if you're a disabled user, that would be super handy. So we need all of these features in the programmable buttons option, in optional settings. What's it called? Key config, something like that. Not got my blimey, I can see someone private calling me now. Hold on, got a private call. Let me just unlink, Fred. Let me just unlink. I'm going to do a P2 to unlink. So I'm not linked. And now Fred in the USA, he's calling me. My volume's down.
Wanted to see if I could call you on the private call. Yeah, it seems like it's working just fine.
Yeah, Fred, it's working absolutely fine. Thank you for calling in and your support on the channel. Now, I would suggest, Fred, turning your volume down on your radio just to the point where you can only just hear it. You know, you can hear everything. Otherwise, we'll get a bit of echo. Me and Fred, we've been experimenting with private call, with group call hold time, and in the optional settings, digital function, the top 4 options are for group call hold time. And I was on a talk group. I was on talk group 91. And Fred has called in on a private call, and the correct protocol is you key up and you say private call, so the other person knows it's private. And as long as you've got the private call, I think they call it person call hold time, the second one down set to infinite, even if your hotspot goes off or your router goes off, you'll be back on there when you finish. Anyway, over to you, Fred, and thanks for calling in. Right, so we got Resat, thank you, Norman. Richard Edge, hi Chris, this is VE7 RXC from Langley.
Call by pushing it down to 0 and punching in 91 and then the hash mark to jump over to 91, and that was good. And so I just
Yeah, Frankie, send me a message tomorrow and I'll send you a link to Norman's group. Can we hear Fred okay? Are you guys hearing Fred okay?
Everything's going good. It works really works nice. Anyway, I'll let you go back to your show. It's go home to watch it. It's W1FJF clear.
Yeah, that's okay. No, it's nice to speak to you. And, you know, I don't want to take over. 5-9, thank you, mate. Sorry, I just asked if everyone could hear you okay. Hear your audio. Yes, just a little. I'll just turn it up a fraction. So, you know, I don't like to take over the main talk groups. It's not really fair to rebroadcast people's not private, but, you know, their conversations. So it's nice to get a call. And, you know, one of the things on DMR is private call. You know, you just type in the idea of someone you want. Right, Norman has posted a link. I'm going to I can see the link. I'm going to show it. So I'm going to show it on the stream because it's held for review. Actually, it wasn't a link. Anyway, but you're sounding very good there, Fred. What are you on the 578 as well, Fred? Just so guys can hear what the audio's like on the 578. Are you using that radio as well, Fred?
Yes, Chris. I'm transmitting on the 578, and it sounds good. You sound great, and yeah, it's a nice little radio. I love it. You know, I got it set up in the dual mode, so I've got another analog repeater that I listen to, and when I hear them transmitting, I'll just turn down the volume on the A channel. Would be set for DMR, my PCAT would be from my local repeater here, and they both can come up at the same time. So I'll just turn down the volume on the DMR, and then I can listen to the repeater on channel B. And then if I hit the shift mode sub channel, it'll automatically switch over, and then I can run the local repeater. So it's got some nice little features I like. So listen, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and I'll let you get back to your video and showing everybody the new stuff that you're working on. This W1FJF will be clear.
Yeah, okay, Fred. Yeah, many thanks for calling in and showing us what... I mean, me and you have been doing this a lot, private call, but, you know, it's one of the underrated features, you know, of DMR. You can do it on D-Star. So I'm just getting my angles right. My microphone lead is disturbing the camera. I'm just going to unplug the charger, that'll help. So I'm just going to reposition this. Sorry for the shaky video. You know, I'm only an amateur here. I'm not a professional. But yeah, thanks for calling in, Fred. And you know, just reminding us what private call is. You know, it's super useful, but I think there should be some sort of universal protocol where someone says this is a private call. Otherwise, if you called me, if I wasn't looking at the screen, I might think you were on the talk group with me. Anyway, 7-3 Fred, and thanks for calling in from 2E0 UKH.
UKH. Can you forgive Chief Bobby Call?
Roger Schlutz, sorry. I love that name. Roger has called in there. You know, I only had to mention private call. Did you notice I'm just sitting here holding the microphone? I haven't changed any channel. Roger initiated the private call and he came straight, you know, I finished with Fred on the radio, I mean, and Roger, he knows my ID. Me and Roger speak a lot on the radio. Roger is one of the voice intro guys on the intro. The guy is a radio genius, but he's got a lot to learn, so you might recognise the voice. He's one of my voice actors. But private call is fantastic. You know, I haven't touched anything on the radio. I'm just holding the microphone. And the next time I key up, I go back to Roger. And that's because Roger initiated the private call. Right, over to you, Roger.
Okay, Chris, I'm not going to hold it long. I know you're making a video, but I just wanted to say good evening, hello, and I hope you are doing good. And me and my wife, we took a cat nap, and I just come out of bed and come in here and turn the computer on and see you had a live stream. I said, cool beans, man. That's great. Well, I'll say good evening there, Mr. Chris. And we love your videos. Have a good night. KU4BFG.
Yeah, okay, Roger. Well, we love you in the intro. You know, I obviously told all these. You know, in the intro, I told 3 people what to say, and I said to Roger, I sent him a message. I said, say this, and he said it, and there was no accent. That fantastic. I said, look. I said, you've ruined it. I said, just say it in your own words. And he said, the guy's a radio genius. He's got a lot to learn. So anyway, thank you for calling in, and I'll just have a listen and see if anyone else calls in. Okay, so no one else calling in. That's fine. It's not all about on the radio, you know, talking on the radio. It's about information about the radio. You know, we've got my technical advisor, Norman, on here. If anyone's got any questions about the AnyTone that I can't answer, Norman will answer them. We've got about 40 people watching, so that's very good. So has anyone got any questions about the AnyTone 578? And, you know, feel free to put them in the comments. And anyone new watching that hasn't commented, put your name and call sign in the comments. And, you know, we'll give anyone a shout out. Anyway, I'm going to wind this stream up. It's been very successful. I don't want it to be too long. I'm enjoying it. Mike, Chris, what talk group is this that you were on? Well, that was a private call. That was a private call. But that is a good question. What talk group? What are the busy talk groups that you would use? Zachary, thank you. Great video as usual. Yeah, cheers, man. Appreciate that. What are the main talk group? Put them in the comments. You know, I don't know them all. I think I do, but today I went to 235. And I always thought 235 was used on Phoenix, but there was a lot of activity on there. And I've never used it. So I would say if you're in the UK or you want to speak to the UK, 2350 is a good talk group on Brandmeister. 235 is another one, which I learnt today. And the USA channels, you know, 3100. You know, I would forget about TAC 310 because they'll block you on there if you're on there for too long. If they do block you, you can just change your talk master server, and then you're released again. Right, Norman, is 235 linked to 235 on Phoenix? I don't know anything about it. I only went on there today. Someone told me 2353. Okay, no. Someone told me 2353 is linked to Phoenix. Is that correct, Norman? Well, would you look at that? Look on the screen. I've received one message. Right, 2353 is linked to Phoenix. Resat. Amazing video 2E0 UKH. Keep up the good work. I've subscribed a while ago. Yeah, the radio, the 578, is a around 50 watt radio. If you want to know all the details, go to Norman's group, the UK AnyTone 868878578 group. Doug's Talk Group 91. He's just listing some of the talk groups. Talk Group 91 is worldwide. 3100 is USA nationwide. 2350. We've got Australia and New Zealand and Canada, Texas. You can look them all up on the Pi-Star webpage. Now, Fred, check your message. Right, has anyone else had problems reading messages? Great video, thank you. Because it could have said you're an arsehole or this is awful. So I'm glad it was a clean one. George, put your call sign in the comments. You're obviously watching the live stream. It was a nice message, but it might not have been. But I think we're all pretty. We're pretty hard, and we don't care about blooming messages. Lone Kazoo N7 ADV. He's called in. Norman, if working Brandmeister, you must set up self-care and set for Motorola radio. Right, are you talking about exclusively for the AnyTone radios? Because I always thought you set them up as a Chinese radio. So just give me a yes or no. DMR Plus messages will have issues. Sean, he's one of my moderators. That's okay, Sean. Sorry I'm late. No worries at all. Right, so if you've got an AnyTone in your Brandmeister self-care, set it up as a Motorola. That's very interesting. So anyway, I'm enjoying this. There's a few people watching, 35, 40 people watching at the moment. Roger Sluts in Tennessee, statewide 314773. So sending messages is awkward. Let me just see if I can reply to the person that sent me the message has not actually put their name in the comments. The person that sent me the message, put your call sign in the comments so I know who we're talking to, and I'm going to try and attempt to reply, and then we can see if you receive the message back. Right, it's Lone Kazoo, me, N7 ADV. Yeah, I did see you put it earlier, but I didn't twig. Right, menu. I mean, I don't see how anyone has any problems with these radios. It's all very intuitive. Menu, messages. and I'm going to read the message, which is going to be in the inbox. Inbox list, great video. Right, so I'm going to select that message, press menu applies to options, you know, the bottom left, and exit applies to back. So I'm going to go options, reply, and I'm going to try and write something back. Oh. You know, you don't very often get a message, so right, help me out, Norman. What am I doing? Pressing the key? Yeah, it's keys. Right, where's delete? Anyway, I'm typing the message. I'm trying to say, I want to try and say thanks. Anyway, I'm just going to send that because I'm ashamed to admit it. On the 578, I can't figure out these, you know, the type in messages options. So, Lone Kazoo, just tell me if you get this message. You know, obviously it's total garbage. Send. Right, so Lone Kazoo, I'm just going to block the screen. I'm just coming back out. So Lone Kazoo, just let me know. Got it. Right, Lone Kazoo got the message. Right, so this is interesting. Yeah, it is easier when it works, Sean, HF. Use the hash button to select the ABC. Okay. Yeah, it's like on the old Nokia 3310. This is fun. It is fun. You know, I don't know everything. I'm experimenting. Now, if I was on the AnyTone 868 or 878, I'd know immediately. But it's weird because, you know, you're on a different radio, totally different form factor. It throws you. So I'm just going to go through the comments. 2E0 IIT, evening Sean. Sean's here. Zachary has told us if you press the hash button to select the ABC. ABC. Zachary, exactly. Sean saying hello to someone. Experimenting is fun. You know, if you know everything about a radio or a device, it's not that fun. It's not that much fun, is it? Right, Sean. Hey, Chris. Changing the subject. Right, go ahead, Sean. Experimenting is how you learn. That's right. All the times I get things wrong, I don't tell everyone about them. I just keep trying until I get it to work. Now, has anyone had any success sending voice recordings on the AnyTone radios? You know, I do know that is possible. Right, Sean is saying, I now have my RSGB Radio Society of Great Britain assessor number. I can now teach foundation. Brilliant. Brilliant, well done. I've got that as well at my local club. I've been doing that for a few years, and it's actually really enjoyable. But I can normally teach 2 or 3 people at a time, but any more than that, it just gets a bit difficult. Right, so you can record stuff on these AnyTones. On all of I think it's all the AnyTones. You can record stuff, but I'm sure I've seen an option where you can send it. So I'm just going to connect to a talk group record a snippet of a conversation and then try and send it to Lone Kazoo. So I'm going to connect to a talk group. I don't know why, but well, I've got to hear someone, so I'll go on a not too busy one, the UK. I'm going to key up. My channel is programmed with a link to 2350. So I should be on 2350. Oh look, someone else has sent me a message now. Is it clean? Doug Smith? Yeah, old Doug knows what he's doing. Hello, KE5CDK. Yeah, thanks, Doug. 2E0UKH. Right, I'm going to record a little snippet of something. I haven't heard any audio. Just coming out of this. Anyone new watching the stream, put your name and call sign in the comments so we know who's watching. So I'm going to go to a busier channel. It's always best procedure to unlink first. I don't think I got the unlinking there. I'm just going to do it again when the green light goes out. The green light means there's some sort of digital contact going on. So I'll do it when the green light's not on.
Not linked.
And there's our friend again. Right, so I'm not linked. I'm going to take it to 3100 and just record a little snippet. You know, I've moved channel. It's not actually on 3100 until I transmit. The radio is not crossband at the moment, or I would not be able to do any of the controls, you know, I couldn't use the clicker knob. So I'm just waiting for a little snippet of conversation, and I'm going to try and record it. Menu. Norman Williams, have you seen anyone, have you tried recording anyone and then sending it? Because I'm sure there is an option. So I'll go into record and I can click on the top right knob to start recording. Record switch. You know, I'm just experimenting live. Got nearly 40 odd people watching, and over a week that'll be 500, and over a year, you know, it'll be in the thousands. So I'm just recording something. I don't suppose it matters if there's any audio. So someone just say something, someone on USA nationwide. So I've got something to record. I'll just key up and ask for a radio report. 2E0UKH, just testing my audio on the AnyTone 578. Right, go again. I saw Fred key up. Look at that. That's not nice. If you move away from the channel, then come back, it normally works. And you can see in the top middle, the recording, the red light is on.
This is W1FJ. I'm talking on 3100. And let's see if I can turn my volume down here. Echo. Just so if you can see if you can get some kind of thing recorded. So I decided to get back over here and just transmit for maybe 10 or 15 seconds. It's W1FJ.
Yeah, W1FJF2E0UKH. Thanks for the audio. I'm just going to see if I can send it now. Going back to standby. Cheers. Oh, Roger Slut's getting in there. Right, just going to press menu, take it down to recording, and I'm going to turn the recording off if someone doesn't key up. Don't key up, please. Record switch off. Right, record switch off. Now, if I go back, and there's a recording list. You know, a lot of these menus are not worded so as you would, you know, intuitively know what they are. And I've got a record. Look, I've got one recording. So I'm just going to unlink. I'm just looking in the YouTube comments. Are you still there? Lone Kazoo in the YouTube comments. I'm going to attempt to send you a audio file. And also in the comments, put what radio are you on. Lone Kazoo, you're still there. Thank you for watching all this nonsense. So just put what radio. I mean, you text me, I text you. This should work. So I'm just wondering what talk, you know, what can I send it? I don't want to take over a talk group sending a message. So I'm just going to unlink. And Norman, what talk group would you recommend?
Not linked.
That was a bit loud. Norman, what talk group would you recommend I attempt to send a voice message, a recording on? Any? Okay, well, I didn't want to do a busy one. So I'm on Brandmeister. I'll go to one where there's not many people on. 2352. So anyone new watching the stream, put your name and call sign in the comments, and I'll give you a shout out on the video live. So I became unlinked, and now I'm connected to 2352. So let's have a look at menu, record, and recording list. I've got that one recording, and I'm going to try and send that. Well, there's a lot there, but I'm going to try and send that top one. Oh, Roger Sluts, he's going to get it. It's because he was the last person that keyed up. Record, send. Look, you can send audio clips. You can choose the talk group. This is awkward. I'm already on the talk group. Manual dial. Manual dial is when you long press the 0, so it's gone to manual dial. On the microphone, I'm going to press hash to change it to the one I'm actually on. Why it didn't pick that up, I don't know. 2352. Right, Roger, put in the comments, are you still on 2352? No. You need their ID. Right, okay, so let's work this out, because I've never done this before. I'm just going to come out of that, delete, and back, and manual dial. Right, Lone Kazoo. Lone Kazoo, could you tell me your DMR ID, and I'll see if I can send you it. Okay, record, send. So Norman, I need your help here. I'm going to do manual dial. Should I do it private call or group call, Norman? private. So it's on private. I'm going to confirm that. No ID. Anyway, but this is an interesting one. I'm not going to tie up the whole video because it will take forever. But I just noticed when you've made a recording, there is an option to send it. Sean Pryor's there, he's keyed up. Come on, Sean, give us a quick call. And then I'll shut down the stream. You know, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It was only supposed to be a quick stream. 2E0 UKH listening on 2352. Go ahead, Sean. I keyed up. Right, go ahead, Sean. Sorry about that. I keyed up and there was a delay of a few seconds. Go ahead, please, Sean. 2E0 UKH.
UKH, 20 XBT returning. Yeah, I was just giving you a quick call. I think there's a few more people coming up on the channel as well, but I'm just running on the TYT MD380, so hopefully you're receiving me okay. And nice to see you on the screen. Sorry, I was a little bit late this evening. Didn't get the message until quite late, but nice to see you all on there.
Yeah, okay, Sean. Well, I really appreciate you calling in. And it wasn't, you know, it was a late notice live stream. I put it in the Facebook group so I could. And as soon as I did it, it said the wrong time here. It said 2 o'clock something, you know, and YouTube is broken, but I said it would be in 10 minutes and it, you know, 10, 15 minutes and it was. But like Mike K8MGB has said, this is how we learn, you know, we're experimenting. That's what I like about ham radio. Everyone is tweaking stuff. They're trying to get stuff working. They're trying to improve it. They bust it. They don't tell everyone, and then they get it working, and then they've learnt what, you know, what they've done right. So, you know, it's very interesting. I would have liked to send a recording, but that's the first time I've tried. So we've got a lot of people watching. We've got 50 people watching, and over a week that'll be 500, and you know, over a year that'll be thousands. So if anyone knows how to send a voice recording, let us know. It'll be very interesting. Right, back to you there, Sean.
UKH from 20 XBT in the group, as it were. And it's yeah, you're right, and so is Mike. It is how we learn, and with these new bits of kit, it very much is a learning curve, isn't it? It's also nice to see my go-to DMR man on the screen this evening, Norman. Very good evening. And whenever I get an issue with DMR, Norman's probably one of the first people that I contact as well. And likewise yourself, if I get stuck with anything, DMR's not my forte, as you very well know. But you know, I'm willing to learn as well. It's nice to embrace some of these things. It's what the hobby's all about. And going forward, I think it does have a bit of a future. And I think if you don't embrace these things, you get left behind. So anyway, I'll make that my final, and let you get back to the video, Chris. Best 7-3 to you and everybody on the stream from 20 XBT down here in a cold and wet Worthing on the south coast.
Sean, thank you for calling in. I appreciate that. And just reading the comments. M7AHE still struggling using DMR on the 878. You know, it's a learning curve. If you've just got one, if you don't use it every day, I use mine every day. You've got to reinforce what you have learned, you know, and it sticks to memory. You know, you get to to learn it, and then you move on to the next section, and after a few months you'll know how to use it. Right, 7.3, Sean, and catch you soon. I'm going to wind this stream up. Thanks for calling in, Sean.
No problem, Chris. 7.3.
Yeah, okay. Give yourself 3 to 4 months to learn DMR. You know, anyone that said, it amuses me when people say DMR. You know, it's just like talking to someone on the phone. You know, there's a hell of a lot more to it than, you know, a Skype call. You know, they say it's just VoIP. There's a flipping hell of a lot to learn. Right, 7.3. Okay.
Before you go away from here, I'd just like to say hello from Budapest. This is HA5RV, otherwise known as M0 X-Ray Sierra when I'm back in the UK. I've just been watching the stream, and I thought I'd say hello before you close it down. Thanks a lot. 73.
Yeah, thank you very much, Stuart. Much appreciate that calling in. You know, I can see all your information on the screen. I've got a fairly recent DMR database in, but on the AnyTone 878, the 878 Plus, and 578, you've got Talk Alias, so you don't actually need to keep putting these DMR databases in thanks to Talk Alias. But thank you for watching the stream, and if anyone's got any questions, or just enjoys all this digital and analog stuff, learning stuff, we're all learning, join the Facebook group Digital Analog Ham. So thanks for calling in, Stuart. I'm going to wind this thing down, and I appreciate you calling in. 2E0UKH.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much. I basically went through all of the stuff, even though, as you say, it's all on the aliases, but many people haven't programmed up their radios, and there are people, like I'm using a GD77 now. It really doesn't show hardly any info except for the ID, the ID if it's programmed into the contacts, or just the DMR ID if it isn't. I'm using a hotspot, so I can see all my information I need from my hotspot. But yeah, I guess if there's anybody else listening who doesn't have access to all those things, I guess it's old habits die hard. I feel like I have to identify myself and all the other bits. Anyway, 73's great job. I enjoyed it. Thanks very much, and I'll catch you around another time further down the logs. Bye-bye, 73's.
Yep, 7.3, and thank you, Stuart, for all the comments. 2E0UKH, turning the volume down and winding the stream down, and going back to the video. Cheers. Okay, so I'm turning the volume down, just looking at the comments. Stuart, he's just put it in the comments there. It's great to see people in the comments that I've just spoken to. And I would like to ask everyone to give a big thank you to Norman Williams, who is, is very knowledgeable on DMR. He has been one of my technical advisors for quite some time. And if Norman has helped you out at all, just give him a thanks in the comments, and join his Facebook group, AnyTone 868 UK. So I think everyone knows Norman. You know, everyone that's had a question knows Norman Williams. You know, he doesn't like the publicity, but you know, he deserves it. He's doing a great job. And thank you, Lone Kazoo, for giving me a super chat. I've not had one for about 2 or 3 months, so I highly appreciate that. Lone Kazoo has given me a super chat. Really appreciate that. Thanks for the demo of the 578. I forgot how you do a super chat. I think where you type in a comment, there's a $sign, and he entered them out there. So many thanks. I've forgotten all about super chat. I do this because I enjoy it. So just reading the comments. Simon Templar, thank you Norman, and thanks Chris. Yeah, my pleasure. I know Norman enjoys it, but it drives him mad when people ask him the same thing. How do you initialize the radio? You've got to have it. You've got to have MCU reboot turned on in power on menu in optional settings. Frankie M6 VMO, thank you for the advice, Norman. Zachary, thank you, Norman. Mike K8MGB, thanks, Chris, for the demo. Nice radio, thank you. Lee Barber, hello from VK2FATS. Lee is in VK land, so he's on the other side of the world. Roger Sluts, love my D878. Sean, he's saying 7.3. Paul Howell, he's been a friend of the channel for a while. Yeah, go back and re-watch it. There's quite a lot of information. We're all learning. We did a demo of crossband repeat, and it's probably turned into one of the best DMR 578 videos, with a lot of information. Simon's saying welcome to digital, Lee. Anyway, I'll say 7.3. Thank you for the super chat, Lone Kazoo, and put your 7.3s in the comment. Put your name and call sign in the comment, and put your 7.3s in, and I shall wind it down. Many thanks, guys. So thank you everybody for watching the live stream and taking part. I will still be in the chat for a few minutes, and then I'll pull the plug, and I'll upload this to YouTube so anyone that's missed the stream can watch it later. Lee Barber's just...
Well, top of Good evening to you, Australian. This is KE4BFG.
Hey, g'day, Roger. It's just before lunchtime at the moment here in Sydney, Australia.
QSL, it's 6:49 here on the East Coast of North America. Hope you're having a good day, sir.
And thanks for the video there, Chris. It was quite good. TVOUKH. Thanks for the video.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lee. Appreciate that, and appreciate you watching. You know, thanks for your support. Right, 7-3, 2E0 UKH just shutting down the stream.
Have a good night, Chris.
Yeah, 7-3, Roger, 2E0 UKH. Finally going clear. Cheers. KB3 VXB just late to the stream. Hello. Right, 7-3. Phew.